think your lungs have recovered, though, since yesterday? Because that was pretty hard.
No, we'll get to that. What up, Jobins? Episode 77. This episode is sponsored by coconut oil. Brenden, you know coconut oil has many nutrients that can contribute to your health and to a good diet. It's full of fatty acids that your body needs and may help improve cognitive function, your metabolism, hair and skin health, may reduce inflammation, good for cooking at high temperatures. It can improve your dental health, make healthy mayonnaise and dark chocolate. And you know what else you can use it for?
You know what? You have a lot of useful reasons to use it. I want to hear.
I learned something new this past weekend, Jobins. You can use coconut oil for lube.
Lubrication.
Yeah, you just lather yourself up with some coconut oil and go to town, Jobins. You're going to have a great time. Learn that from a fellow Jobin this weekend. Come home and there's fucking coconut oil all over the apartment and a jar of coconut oil. I'm like, oh man. So you can only put to the imagination of what went down in this apartment while we were at work.
A reliable and experienced source, let us know.
Yeah. But yeah, so Jobins, you want to eat good, look good, have good healthy hair, have good sex? Go get you some fucking coconut oil. Man, don't you wish we were sponsored by coconut oil? Because, I was just joking.
Especially if it was for that reason, I could be like, yeah.
Yeah. Have some fucking wicked coconut oil sex.
Wicked sex with the coconut oil.
We need a sponsorship, dude. We need to find one. We need to go out and look for one or just, what up, guys? What up? Because we can use that. We got over 1,000 subs now. Let's go.
Yes, thank you so much to everybody who subscribed to us, all the Jobins, all the family, friends, everyone who's just messing with us.
Shout out to Diane at my job. She's the sweetest old lady, dude. So Jobins, I'm lucky. I got a good group of people that I work with at Sprouts, and this sweet lady, she's like the mom of the kitchen, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm telling her that we were close to 1,000. So what is she doing? I get embarrassed, right, Jobins? I'm not one, like I'll post it online on social media, like go subscribe and shit. But when it comes to in life, in person, it's hard for me. Like that when that little kid came up to us and was like, hey, check out our pod.
Dude's Steven and Toast. Yeah, dope. Shout out.
Yeah, when he came up to me and he's going up to all these people handing out flyers, that actually inspired me because I have a hard time, like, I get embarrassed and kind of nervous preaching about our pod to people. You know what I mean?
Do you? Well, you know what? I'm guilty as charged. I use it to just even approach girls and be like, yeah, I have a podcast. I need to work on it, though, and hopefully, being out here, maybe something will happen. And, we'll see what happens. Just trying to get my game up. Dude, you got 1,000 subs. Thank you again, everybody. Oh, but it's awesome. It's freaking awesome.
Did you ever think we'd do this, dude? Like, it's our goal, right? Mm-hmm. But, like, to me, Jobins, I remember when we were like, dude, what if we had 100 people watching this or subscribe to us? So to have fucking over 1,000 of you Jobin with us, let's fucking go. Mm-hmm. Means the world to us. This is what we want to do. This is what we love doing. Yeah, we're in a kitchen right now. But in the future, the dreams that we have and we just keep accomplishing one after little thing. I think we can do it.
And you know what? We're making sure that we live those experiences too, which I recommend to all the Jobins. Like we're spending money to go to UFC events, There's expenses that we're putting into cost, but like you only have one life to live. So we definitely got to make sure we get those,
experiences. Well,
experiences. So thank you guys for,
We're not being too crazy and absurd. Sean's giving us lots of shit, but like the UFC Phoenix event, like, dude, that just made sense. Like we've been working really hard. We haven't been to a UFC event in over 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm, right.
And we moved here to Arizona. It's the first, and like they come here often, I'm sure. But it just made sense. First time here, first time event to go to. Made sense for us to go to that. And then, of course, we got to go to Chickasha July 2nd. We'll see you Jobins there. As of right now, me and Brenden don't know exactly what we're doing. I don't know what days we want to go, like Wednesday or whatever, Friday, because we got to look at expenses and shit like that. But definitely we're doing a Jobin meetup. So let's fucking meet up July in Vegas, supporting our boy Chickasha, which Pedro, dude. He's going to get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly. Or sub, dude. Yeah. What if he got sub, dude? That's our goal.
What was that submission you learned?
Oh, the buggy choke.
The buggy choke, Jobins. I'm saying it right now. If Sean were to do this slick ass, some of you Jobins are jiu-jitsu people watching, you know what it is. If Sean were to do some slick ass submission like that in the octagon, that's a $50K performance of the night. Easy check.
Oh, yeah, because the dude's on top of you in side control in a dominant position and you're able to choke him out.
Has a buggy choke been done in the UFC? I got to look it up.
I don't know about in the UFC. I don't know about in the UFC. Probably, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be sick though.
But yeah, I can't wait. I'm fucking stoked. I'm telling you right now, Jobins, Sean's looking fucking good. We're kind of going out of order on my notes because I want to talk about this. He took us to the MMA lab for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
That was fucking sick because a lot of Jobins who know me, I do fan mail with UFC cards. So like I send to gyms and stuff. So it was really cool when I finally got to see the behind the scenes of where I send my fan mail. Because I've sent to Jared, I've sent to Sean, and a couple of other fighters that are at that gym. So I got to go in and we were looking at the belts, the WEC belt, the UFC belt, all those plaques they had on the walls, all the posters. I was geeking.
So sick, dude. The belts for Benson Henderson.
Yep.
And then we saw his WEC and his UFC belt. And it's like, what a badass. And these guys are training here and teaching people.
Tinquinho, dude, talking to him, getting to talk to him.
Legend.
That dude's a fucking legend, Jobins. World class, one of the best jiu-jitsu guys on the fucking planet. And just watching him teach Tim and Sean how to do stuff, it's like the back of his hand, jiu-jitsu. And then he's the nicest guy in the world. Mm-hmm. And we chatted with him for a while. And then, boom, seeing Jared Cannonier for the first time and live standing next to him. That dude's jacked. I can't wait for him fighting Izzy. That's going to be sick.
What's cool to me about Tinquinho, too, is like he trained Tim, and then Tim's trained to so many people. He's like the grandfather of like people. I think about like family trees. I'm like, how many people are like badasses in jiu-jitsu, and it's responsible because of this guy who taught this person who taught all these people.
Like the Gracies. You know what I mean?
It's so cool.
It's like the next gen of Gracies when you look at Tinquinho. Mm-hmm. And how long he's been doing it, which over 26 years.
Dude, he said 1996. I was like, I was a year old. You were just a little kid, like little baby.
It's crazy. And then again, he's the nicest guy. And like Courtney, and Drakkar, they're all just so nice.
So nice.
We're in this room full of all these fucking killers doing their thing, and then they're the nicest people in the world. It's just really humbling. It's really inspiring. It's motivating. It's fresh. You know what I mean? Like, I love people who don't have ego issues.
Yeah.
And that's the room full of them.
You can't have ego because you got to like get broken down and then build yourself up, and these badasses. Yeah. Just badasses.
But it was really cool, Jobins. I got to play JX for Sean. He did a round with Mario Bautista. That's how he says his last name? Yeah. Again, another chill guy. He sparred. They did an awesome fucking round. Each week it's going to build up and up as we get to go watch Sean do his thing. But I patted Mario back. I was like, hey, good shit, dude. And he was real nice. Yeah, it was really cool. Really cool. But yeah, I got to film that. Yeah. That was really cool. Oh, and then it was funny because Jared was kind of freaking out about the people hanging out in the front, waiting for autographs and stuff. Oh. So, like, when he's talking about that, I was like, oh, fuck. I wanted to tell him, like, yeah, I might have sent you some fan mail that you've signed before, but I didn't have the balls because he's just so fucking jacked, Jobins.
Yeah, and he teaches classes there, too.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
You were wanting to join. Brenden got all jacked up watching everyone fight and shit.
Oh, yeah. Dude, how can you not get jacked up seeing all these killers get better at their craft? And you're like, oh, man, I just want to learn something new and evolve as a human.
Right. Jobins, a few of you guys were in my Twitch the other day, and you were suggesting that we start a Discord and that we start a, what is it?
A Discord and a, what's the word we're looking for?
I didn't write down.
It's okay. Hey, we take notes.
Venmo.
To help out with the production.
Yeah, to help. Because here's the thing. Something that I've always kind of like, so it's just weird because Jobins were talking about on my Twitch, but you know, like the 5-year plan? Mm-hmm. They start that when you're like, what, a kid? I can remember being in elementary school or even middle school, and they're like, oh, yeah, like 5-year plan. Like, where do you want to be 5 years from now? What do you want to do? And that always kind of overwhelmed me because I've always been like a small goal kind of person. Like, I think like a year goal is better, or even months. Like 3 months from now, 6 months from now, where can I be? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But again, the 5 years. So how much of a difference? Like if we look back, dude, 5 years ago was so much. I would never have dreamt of being where we're at right now 5 years ago. If you could have told me 5 years ago, hey, in 5 years you're gonna be doing this, I'd be like, shut your mouth, dude. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what's cool too is like I was so happy to get my first stripe. Mm-hmm. I was thinking when I first started jiu-jitsu, I was like, I don't care if it's 5 years and I'm still a white belt with no stripes. Like just being out here and grinding, putting my nose to the ground and doing the work is like gonna pay off. So like like you said, I don't really think about like the timeline. I
Yeah.
don't think about how long it's gonna take. I just think about like how focused I am on the goal at hand,
Yeah.
and then thinking like, okay, it's eventually gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because like, I never would have imagined or guessed how we'd get to 1,000 subscribers or how long it would take to
Or
get
even
there.
out here in Arizona with Sean and how different life is right now. 5 years ago, I would have been like, you're crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like you look at like people who are going through hard shit, like Jobins, I went through depression for a couple of years. You know what I mean? And it's when you kind of sit back and you realize like, whoa, everything happens for a reason. Like I never would have thought that my life would be so different and being in such a positive direction that it is now. Especially back then being that like 22, 23, that Schmitty. That Schmitty be like, dude, fuck you, that's crazy. This shit's, life is sad. But it's like, it's all about your mindset. You know what I mean? How do you take those L's in life? We all get them. We've all gone through them. That's why it's hard for me to actually like talk about the shit that I've been through, because I feel like most people will be like, well, yeah, we've all been through that. Like talking about a breakup or even expressing how much you felt like if you loved someone and it didn't work out. You know what I mean? Because everyone can be like, oh yeah, we've all been there. You'll get over it. You'll get over it. You know, and then even with death, people are like, oh, in time you'll feel better. You know what I mean? But do you? There's people that pass away that I'll hold on to the rest of my life. You know? And the relationships that I've had made me who I am today. And there is times I think about it. You know what I mean?
To connect with that too, like I feel like fighting is such like, it's like a part of life intrinsically. And then Gilbert Burns said something real insightful to me on Instagram. He was like, he quoted Rocky. He said, it doesn't matter how hard you get hit. It's about how you get back up after getting hit.
I love that scene. That's the fifth, the fifth one with the son?
with the Creed,
Oh,
Apollo
got it.
Creed.
Yeah, that's when he's
and
talking
Creed
to his
1.
son. Yeah.
And to me, it's just like, oh, you're actually talking Rocky. You're right. There's so many movies.
It's the one where he's talking to his son. He's like, you got to keep going forward. Yeah, that's the best one, dude. It's the
You're
best.
right. You're
Yeah.
right. But
Yeah.
again,
And
like
he's right.
exactly
Rocky's
what
right.
you're saying, dude.
Yeah.
It's-
Sylvester Stallone, thank you. Because sometimes I get sad and I watch that scene. And I'm like, damn it, he's right. And I get all motivated.
And you were like, why is Charles DuBronx talk about like getting hit and getting back up and bragging about it? And you're right, you want to be defensive, but I think the main point is facing adversity.
Oh, I see
And
his
climbing up through adversity.
Yeah.
And saying, hey, I overcame it.
And we all go through it.
And like
Everybody.
you said, exactly.
You just gotta fucking get back up, and you gotta keep. That's why it's like I'm preaching, Jobins, more now than ever. Chase your fucking dreams. We live once. Life is too short to not even try. To not even try and chase what you love and do what you love to make you happy. You got to.
And it's like, we're not saying that it ain't hard to struggle. Like I get uncomfortable
We're
and get
struggling right
anxiety.
now, baby.
We're struggling right now,
Yeah,
baby.
we struggling right now, baby.
You better-
We here, baby. You know what I mean? Like we don't know
Exactly.
where we're gonna be a year from now. This motherfucking lease ends in a year, Jobins. We gotta find a house. You know what I mean? But that's just a bump. That's adversity. That's the grind. And once we do, like in a year from now, where would you want to be?
In a year from now, where do I want to be?
Yeah.
Man, that's a great question because we're talking about these timelines. I want to have my nose to the ground and doing my goals and working hard at what I want to do, my passions.
Which are, to let the Jobins know, because some Jobins wanted to know, what is Brendan's passions and goals?
Well, one of the passions is obviously doing this podcast with you means a whole great deal to me. All the Jobins mean a great deal to me. The writing has always been my main passion. I went to Mizzou. I went to college, got a bachelor's in English for writing.
I like to think I helped you with that.
Oh, it's definitely been a huge influence
Not to
with
brag.
all the movies we've watched and growing
Well,
up and film
and
and books and like all that shit I love. So
Your boy I took writing classes screenplay writing classes in college, and I kind of was like, "Yo, read this," and I kind of showed you the beginning, and then I didn't think I'm being 100% real. When I showed you all that stuff, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna do this and give up." I never in a million fucking years would have thought you've been doing what you've been doing ever since I showed you that shit. Like, bro, you've been writing. This dude writes all the time, Jobins. I'll come home from work and motherfucker's writing. Like, he just loves writing screenplays. It is a lot of fun. It's like therapy. You know what I mean? But for me, I'm such a fucking perfectionist, dude, that because you got to write a screenplay and then you got to re-edit it. You got to edit again. You got to edit again. You got to just keep, and it's just so much that I kind of overthink it. And then it's like, You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. And the worst part is, too, and I think everyone for that cares about interest, and I all care about your interests. Go for your passions. But when people are like, what's your story about? And it's going to take me like 30 minutes or 40 minutes to talk to you about what it's all really about. Because I got to
we got it, baby.
You know, so it's supernatural thrillers for the most part. I'll just keep it simple. But thanks again for everybody. And go for your dreams, too. That's what it's all about.
That's what you mostly write, but you could write. At the end of the day, if someone was like, hey, would you be down to write a horror film? Would you be down to write a comedy? You'd be able to.
Oh, yeah. Bread and butter is my horror and comedy. But anything else I would still want to give a shot at, get a crack at, you know?
So in a year from now, where would you like to be a year from now?
A year from now? Ooh.
Think about everything, like where we're at, living.
Honestly, I think it'd be really dope to still be in Arizona next year.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully still be living down here and kind of expanding on what we have here. Maybe have a professional room, and maybe with help from like Venmo, we'll get everything set up. There's so many hurdles to go through. But if we get through all those hurdles, I would definitely love to still be here and still, hell, maybe even in a year, not working at US Bank. But if I have to be, like, and shout out to all my US Bank crew who subscribed and followed too. I love all you guys. But I still love having that job. But if we can make it far enough to where I won't take off, I will go towards my passions 100%. But yeah, a year from now, let's just see. Let's just keep going hard and keep grinding. And goals, US Bank no more, and just podcasting, doing my writing, all that stuff to pay for the income. But you never know. We'll just keep going. Thanks for asking. And thanks for caring about hearing. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, a lot of Jobins been like, dude, we want to know more about Brenden. So maybe each like pod or something will always kind of deep dive into both of us or get to know you more, dude. Because I was like, yeah, you're right. Brenden hardly ever talked about him. Like, we need more Brenden talk.
I know people are always surprised, like, oh, you write a lot? Especially, I was like, yeah, I've made it to like the quarterfinals of competitions that have thousands and thousands of people that actually submit their works. So I have gotten some accolades attached to my script.
Dude.
I had 2 wedding videographers who optioned my work off. I couldn't sell my work for a year because they wanted to do something with it.
That was fun talking to them.
It fell apart. They couldn't get their TV pilot taken off.
At least we gained that experience of someone reaching out to you over a screenplay and kind of seeing how it works with them taking it and using it to see if it turned into a plot or it turned into a show or something.
I've copyrighted works too. So if you try to copyright Scooter Squad as a supernatural TV teen horror.
That was after we went to Lake Tahoe.
Yeah. You are going to get sued. I'm just kidding.
Time will come for every fucking thing you got. Dude, when I look at a year from now, a year from now, I do want to get our merch going. I want my Twitch to be better. But, dude, I love playing video games. But you got to be good at streaming and playing videos at the same time. And that's where I'm, like, struggling. You know what I mean? I got to just get better at it. And then you got to be entertaining. I've been shown some streamers that are entertaining and good at gaming at the same time. And I'm like, man, those are like the MLB players. And I'm a fucking middle school baseball player right now with Twitch. You know what I mean?
I love how you say it, though. Those are MLB players. Those people deserve respect because it is tough.
Oh, it is.
You got Repulse doing freaking DJ going hard.
Hate him. Most people love him. It's crazy.
And then he's still playing,
and then he's a badass. Yeah.
That is tough
work. You got that one kid lighting his whole fucking bedroom on fire, just raving and fucking going crazy. That was probably the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And when I see that and then I look at, and I'm doing my stream, I'm like, shout out to you Jobins in there watching me streaming right now. Because you know what? You fucking legends.
Legends. Thank you, too. I agree.
I appreciate the love and support. Because guess what? I just want to get better for you guys and make it more fun. So, yeah, a year from now, I want to have hoped that amped up. I got some emotes going. We need to get you some emotes.
You already got some good emotes I like.
Yeah, I need to make some better ones. Because it's cool because they show you, you know what I mean, which emotes do the best and not.
Oh, they do? They track that, too?
Oh, yeah, your analytics, baby. Analytics, I love looking at analytics and all that kind of shit. Seeing who's engaging, what's getting looked at the most. It's really cool. But yeah, when I think about like a year, merch, Twitch, obviously Jobins, we're in a kitchen right now. Back at home, we had a legit pod room. We had our nice table. I want to get there again. I want a pod room. I want it looking cool. I want a theme. I want our pods to be better. I want to get more. So we need 2 of these bad boys. We need a new Focusrite. And then I want to start getting guests on. I want to have guests on all the time and talking about real shit, new shit. I want to dive into people's minds, people I like. And we're surrounded by so many good people that's just what I want to do. and to make it more fun and entertaining for you guys. Because how long can we bullshit until all y'all Jobins get sick of us just sitting around bullshitting? You know what I mean?
And as much as we love, thank you guys too.
Yeah.
If you do tune in for that, we appreciate that as well.
I want to make this bitch like Logan Paul, like the Nelk Boys, like Joe Rogan. Like I want to be like that level.
Because we definitely got the potential. We got the quality that we can make that
I want
happen.
to sit down with my dad, Will Sasso, and be like, yo, what's up? Shout out to my real dad. Love you, Dad.
But Will, if you want to get on the show.
But yeah, Will Sasso. Everyone says I look like you. We look like each other. In this crazy universe, are we somehow related? Who knows?
And we got to get Tim the Tap Man on the show.
Tim the Tap Man.
Those are the two I hear from you all the time.
Yeah. What if all three of us in one pod together? How epic would that be? But yeah. But then when I look at like something like a 5-year goal, I'm just like, man, 5 years from now, I hope I'm alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Hopefully alive.
I hope I'm alive. Of course, love to be still doing all this and just amplified like a motherfucker, making the Jobin something, Jobin LLC, Jobin Entertainment, something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And also, I do want love, dude.
Oh, yeah.
You want love?
Oh, dude, love is something that I think everyone should have to experience.
Yeah. The boys dived in on the pod. We went on the pod again today. It's Sunday. This pod, hopefully, we'll see how it goes, Jobins. I hope I get it up tomorrow, too, which will probably be the same time the Timbo Sugar Show pod actually drops, which we were on, which it got a little crazy. A little crazy. They got Schmitty riled up again. They just love getting Schmitty riled up. And I gave it to them. Every time the boys want to get me riled up, I'll give them what they want because that's who I am. And I'm always going to be boisterous. You know what I mean? I'm very boisterous. I'm a very emotional guy, and I'm a big talker. You know what I mean? Because I'm very expressive. I'm going to let you know how I feel about something. Yeah. To the full fucking extent.
You let us all know how you were feeling.
I let motherfuckers know how I feel. Damn it.
That's a good thing too. It's a positive. Yeah. You should let people know how you feel because then things build up and then you blow up out of nowhere. So It's good to be expressive.
Right. We got into we were talking about love, right? They were talking about love, but when things got crazy, we were talking about feedback on YouTube comments and not letting them insecurities and rah rah rah. So yeah, love. What is so wrong with monogamy? I know it's failing. And here's the thing. I think monogamy has been looked at so bad recently, like why maybe it's fallen apart, is just because of history with marriage. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, dude, if you got married, and it's still happening. Look at some people we know. Oh, you can, because you're this religion, you have to marry this other person who's the exact same religion.
Right, and it fails.
This shit still fucking exists with like forced control. Because back in the day, people would get married, and if you got divorced, oh no, you guys, what the fuck is wrong with you guys getting divorced? That wasn't that long ago. Mm. Where it's like, it's okay to get divorced. People change. People fall out of love. You can be with someone 25 years, you could be with someone and fall out of love.
You're right. The thing I would say is like we shouldn't make it, like you said, it is okay to get it's better to get divorced than to stay in an unhappy marriage, but we should try to figure out ways to even stop marriages from happening that should have never taken place in the first place.
Exactly.
But that's like some Minority Report, like future shit. Because like you said, it's hard for us to say a year plan or a 5-year plan. Yeah. Okay, how are you going to spend the rest of your life for 20 years? What's your 20-year plan with the woman you're going to marry for the rest of your life?
Exactly. Oh, well, we're going to be, retired when living on a yacht. And it's like,
so we should be more accepting of divorce. Because you're right, you never know about a 20-year plan.
Yeah, people could fall out of love. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. And like you said, there's so many people out there that we know, and even Tim and Sean said they know, that I'm sure all you Jobins know. There's people in relationships that are together that shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. And it's like sometimes it's weird where it's like, oh, well, they kind of like that drama life. They love those crazy like fighting couples that are just crazy. But then at the end of the day, well, I love you. And then they always make up. Yeah. But like they just keep doing it.
I mean, if they match each other's passions,
right?
I guess I can't knock them for that.
Right? And at the end of the day, if they always just truly love each other and they've been through some shit. But that's not my ideal. My ideal, like when I think of monogamy, like Tim and Sean are like, oh, you bury that down, wanting to fuck other chicks. Dude, that's human nature. It's just human nature to find people attractive. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily wanting to fuck the shit out of them and be against your wife. It's just human nature. It's in the brain to find someone else attractive. Now, would you ever cheat on your wife? Would you ever, do you honestly think about other women when you're having sex with them? Because that is kind of fucked up. You know what I mean? Those are the things that if you're having those kinds of things, well, then maybe you're not really actually in love with this person.
Well, and then again, it comes back to having those honest conversations with your partner.
That too.
And it comes back to
letting them know, like, hey, I found this woman really attractive today. And there's nothing wrong with that. People are like that too. And your girl, like, I found that dude was really handsome that we talked to at line today. And you go, and I'm sure there's guys like, oh yeah, well, he was so great. You know what I mean?
But I would even say like relationships that deal with adversity and overcome them are a lot stronger probably than relationships that just avoid
like a chain link,
avoid confrontation.
Yeah.
You should probably be happy when you guys are able to overcome adversity together.
In the journey. It's a chain link, baby.
Because like I'd be a little weirded out if I'm like, we've never gotten in a fight, and
right?
It's like, what are like? Because I'm sure there's things that I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. There should be some things that we have to come to compromises with.
Yep.
So it's interesting. Relationships are tough to navigate. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
I think when Sean and Tim, when they talk about monogamy, they're always talking about like the insecurities, like, letting your woman be happy if she has sex with another guy. Well, it's like, what about the other people? What about the other women or the other men? We're all being with one person is good. You know what I mean?
And that's to each their own.
I gotta work on that still. Damn it.
You know what I mean when you say it after everything.
I know, it's just sell merch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, you know what I mean is merch.
I mean?
Hey, maybe. Come on, Jobins. What do you think?
Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just don't think, like, obviously, I'm the type of guy, I don't know how you are, you can let the Jobins know. And it kind of bit me in the end. When I'm in a relationship, I trust my girl. Like, at the end of the day, I know that we would communicate so well that she can do whatever she wants. I don't give a fuck if she hangs out with other dudes. I don't care if she hangs out with her friends as much as she wants. You know what I mean? God damn it. It's just as long as if you love me and I love you, and we're always in, the journey, going through experiences, that's all I ask for. And then being there through thick and thin. And then being actually in love.
My thing is the intensity and like the passion would probably like be secured and like locked in once we are officially saying that both of us are in this relationship.
Yeah.
I think before that, I'm not going to get attached like that because I know like that's going to fuck me up or something.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, we got to lock it in.
Dude,
before I get invested.
Can you imagine loving, because when I love hard. I'm a hard lover, Joe. I'll do anything for the people I love. I'll die for them. I would die for you. I would die for my family. I'd die for Sean and Tim. Some crazy fan came at Sean. Fuck. Yeah. I got to die now. Damn it. And dive in front of them. So when I'm in a relationship and I love a girl so much, and if she were to cheat on me or get fucked by some other dude,
bad.
It would hurt so fucking bad. Like, because it's like when I love somebody, I would never hurt them like that. And like, they're enough for me. And I don't know. I'm someone that puts sex with love. Like, yeah, of course you can have sex without love. Duh. You can go have one night stands. Oh, you find that girl really attractive. Go fuck each other's brains out. But when it comes down to love, like when I love this girl, like her getting dicked down by maybe someone who's got a bigger pipe, better pipe. Like, how many times are they going to dick down till she falls in love with him? You know what I mean? And I'm just sitting over here going, damn, and hurt. But maybe that is my insecurities. Letting people control my emotions, as Sugar Shane would say. Which I don't, obviously you don't want other people to control your emotions. And I have learned the hard way that you have to love yourself before you can ever love anyone else. Because if you don't love yourself, it's not fair to the other person, and you're just not there for them 100%. There's things that get in the way. There's a lot. So I get all that.
You know what, though, at the same time, to play devil's advocate, I'd say that there's a weakness in not allowing yourself to be vulnerable. I think that that the way for a relationship to work is to expose yourself and to be vulnerable to that other person and them to be vulnerable to you. And that's something I struggle with because like I've been hurt in the past and I just don't even want to get vulnerable in that vulnerable state. So like to even think about becoming vulnerable is such a fear and an anxiety that I have.
But see, there's
but that's a strength that you could have is if you allow yourself to be vulnerable, which is something I would want to do too at the same time.
Bro, being vulnerable is not a bad thing at all.
Right.
Because when you're vulnerable, that's when you're the realest you are, and the people and the person you love, when you're vulnerable, when that person loves you and you love them and they're vulnerable to you and you're vulnerable to them, you're learning how they truly feel about things and what they're going through and who they really are. I've been vulnerable my whole life. I wear my fucking heart on my sleeve and it's bit me more than I've ever and I haven't changed. How stupid am I? I wear my heart on my sleeve and it's bit me in my ass more than I can count that it's helped me because I'm like that.
But I'm the same, and I think that's not, again, necessarily a weakness. It's just kind of a strength in a way because you got to just keep going through that adversity to find the person that's going to stick it out with you.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's tough.
Thick and thin,
it's not easy.
It's not easy. And yeah, you could, and then when I see people who are old that have been together for so long and they're happy and they got a big family, like, I just want to sit down and talk to them like, yo, how did you do this? How did you make this work? Like, what have you guys been through? And I guarantee you they could tell you a lot of things. Then I think about Tim and Sean being right when I think of Dane Cook because he has a skit about that. And he sees this old couple and they're real happy. And he goes up and asks them, yo, what's the secret? And the guy leans into him when the girl like walks away. And he's like, cheat. And I'm like, fuck. But that's fucked up. You know what I mean? I could never, when you get,
I think that's somebody else's car.
Breaking into your
Someone
car.
in the apartment complex, their car's going off.
Jobins, Brenden was so high last night. Did we even talk about that?
No, we didn't even bring up the challenge.
We didn't even talk about it yet.
But I was so stoned, I left my keys.
Brenden left his fucking keys in the door. So this morning, I'm like, I thought someone was trying to break in our house. I'm like, is this someone else's keys? Because, I was high too still, I guess.
That was a lot.
Yeah. Yesterday, we go and hang out. Sean's like, yeah, so Sean, somebody smoked on my weed when I came back to my home from my apartment. And Shane's like, oh, yeah, I got you back. So then all of a sudden the next day, Sean's like, yo, Schmitty, I want you and Brenden to come over. We're going to film something. You come over and we're going to maybe do a trivia and we're going to get you guys so stoned. Okay. And I'm like, all right, Shane, let's do it. So yeah, did you even know about it until we were going over there? Did I tell you?
No, you told me that like they wanted to see you get to your highest.
Yeah.
And I kept telling them, I was like, well, dude, I think there's a point where you just can't get any higher.
Yeah. You got fucked up.
Oh my God. Yeah. I had to keep up and I was smoking so much.
You got fucked, dude.
I woke up high. I was like, damn.
He was so high, Jobins. Not only was his eyes red, but the circles around his eyes were red. That's how fucking fried he was. We're walking around in Sprouts. We're doing shit. He doesn't even know where the fuck he is.
Yeah, we went to Sprouts your work. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Just
you're fried. You're fried out of your mind.
Fried.
Yeah, but Sean, I did like 8 dabs. But dude, how many rips did I take? Who knows?
Ooh, probably
at least
like
times
8
by
to 10.
3, because he would pack one, and you obviously my lungs aren't strong enough to rip the whole entire thing in one.
It's so much.
It's so much. So I would have to keep taking one after another, and then you finish it. So it's like it was probably like I'd say 3 to 4 rips for one. So I took a lot.
Yeah.
And the hardest part that I have was my lungs. I haven't smoked that much dabs ever. I'm not a dab taker, Jobins. I'm a flower guy. I like my indica. I can take bong rips all day.
Ooh, see, I don't know, dude. That seems like it'd be just as hard to do bong rips all day.
It would.
I think the lung
point.
capacity, I don't know. I think you were just 10 out of 10 stony.
Oh, I was. I did get fried. I'm not going to lie.
But your lungs probably were hurt. But
They
they'd be
were
just as
hurt.
hurt on bong rips doing that many, right? That's a lot.
It would. My lungs would eventually feel the same way, but I would take way more rips.
Okay.
Than the equivalence of just the few dab rips.
So now we got to test out how many bong rips before.
Which I'd be down to do.
That's a new test.
That's what I told Sean. I was like, dude, buy an ounce of weed, out some nugs, and let's sit down and do this.
I think that'd be hardcore.
Yeah.
Even more.
Yeah, like that's what I'm talking about. And then he was wanting to do it every 5 minutes. And at first I was all like, why don't we just keep doing it? That fucking car horn is still going off. These people. Okay.
Ooh, wow. Right when you said it. Wow. Maybe they're listening.
Yeah. Okay, he said it. But yeah. he wanted to wait every 5 minutes, and I was like, well, but then I needed it because after a while, and even I wonder how the video's gonna. We haven't seen the video how JX is gonna pop this shit out. So it got to a point where I couldn't take any hits anymore. I just kept coughing. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Oh, yeah.
It was, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it was tough, dude. It was really hard. And then I was like, Ricky, if you can't finish it, I'll help out because I'm your brother.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to take this. I was like, please just take all of it.
Yeah.
Please make it. And then I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And I was stony.
And then he took us to Smash Burger. He hooked us up. It was fun hanging out with Sean and JX. And Danny was doing Hayden's hair. They were doing a photo shoot. Dude, when we get some merch, we're going to have to hit Hayden and Michelle up, a couple chicks, do some merch for us.
Oh, that
Photo
would
shoot.
be fire.
Be fire. Be cool. Another goals.
Dude, 10 out of 10 on the Smash, too.
Oh, yeah. They were telling us that In-N-Out's better than Smash Burger. Jobins, let us know. In-N-Out or Smash Burger. If you haven't had either one, go fucking try them. But, yeah. Oh, also, Jobins, I got a poster bet with the champ, Sugar Shane O'Malley. If I get down to 285 by July 2nd, or I guess July 1st, whenever he weighs in for his fight, he'll buy the UFC event poster for me. So I don't think he thinks I'm going to do it, but I'm motivated to do it.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get to, what's the weight we got to get to?
So I'm at 296, 290. I keep fluctuating, 296, 297, right? Mm-hmm. So that's just, let's call it 13 pounds.
And how much have you lost already, bro?
Since August, I lost weight, flew out to Sean's. Thanksgiving, Christmas, January.
Holidays, got it back.
Gained weight. Came back out here with you. When we got back out here, I was back up to like 230 something. And I was like, fuck, I'm almost right back to where I was. I got real sad and shit. Mm-hmm. And then I started working at Sprouts, started doing more shit. Now here we are. I'm at 297.
297.
Yeah, so you could call. Overall, I counted back in August. I've so far lost 46 pounds.
Hell yeah.
You know
so it's 13 or 15 more pounds.
Yeah.
That's doable, bro.
Yep. Well, as you get, if anyone who's been super big and fat like me, it gets harder as you lose more. The more you lose, the harder it gets. Because when you're so big and fat, you can lose. If you just actually start changing some real shit, like right now, even if I cut my Starbucks out, which I fucking need to. Because I know
It'll happen, champ.
Addictions. I got to break the habit of my Starbucks. And I guarantee it, just doing that alone, I could lose another 5-10 pounds. Just by cutting that shit out completely.
And then we only got 5 to go then.
Yeah, and then eating healthier and healthier and healthier. Yeah, dude. Just those things like that can make drastic changes when you're super big. But then when you're like Sugar Shane, you ain't got no fucking fat on you.
It's tough.
It is tough, dude. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah. Your boy's motivated because I want a Sugar Shane poster, and then he's going to pay for it. So it's like, Sean's so awesome.
Yeah, that'd be fire.
He always just does awesome things for everybody. This Sugar Shane will do it. Fucking Steve will do its cousin.
He is definitely a good down-to-earth dude. Him and Timbo.
Oh, everybody out here.
You're right. Why am I excluding people? Like, there's someone that's not.
Yeah. Quick, because we got a little bit of time. Let's do an Ozark review. Jobins, do you watch Ozark? Let us know. What did you guys think of the finale? I'll go first. You loved it?
Perfect.
Okay, so here, I'll do my review. Then you do yours. So, I love Jason Bateman. I loved him in the show. I thought it was his best performance in his whole career. He's been awesome. When you can go back and look at him be a comedian and be a funny little guy in all his shows and shit and his little small parts, and then watch him grow through his career, start getting bigger roles, The Horrible Bosses, roles like that, the movie with Melissa McCarthy, and then to get a show like Ozark where he just fucking shined as an actor.
Oh my God, right?
Yeah, just fucking shined. He's in his directing, his writing, all that kind of shit. However, I think I'm blaming COVID. I think COVID kind of fucked a couple things up. Because the last season 4, felt so rushed. It felt part 1 and part 2.
I agree.
Felt rushed. Seasons 1, 2, and 3. I was going back after the finale, after we finished the show. I'm going back and watching parts of season 1, and I'm like, this is amazing. The writing, the intensity of scenes where things would get so intense, and Marty gets out of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where the fuck was that for part 1 and 2 for this season? There was none of that. And no spoilers. We're not going to do any spoilers, so I'm not going to say what happens.
Right.
But I was very disappointed with Ruth's character arc. You know what I mean? Damn it. I don't know how to break. You know what I mean? I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to go
okay.
like hypnotized or something. Stop fucking saying it. You know what I mean? Fuck. But yeah, very disappointed with Ruth. So many things, like when she teamed up with another character, they just happened and went so quickly.
Yeah.
And it just didn't, I couldn't get invested in any of it. And again, just some things were real quick. Like with the hitman, with the little fucking badass hitman who was taking people out all fucking series. I didn't like how that ended. I didn't like...
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like the chick that Ruth was teaming up with. I couldn't stand Wendy.
Ooh, see?
You love
there's
Wendy.
The big
I
difference
couldn't
there.
stand Wendy the whole show. I love Jason Bateman. I did enjoy the kids. Overall, I would say that Ozark is like the modern day Sopranos, especially with the ending. I would give it, that last season, I'm still going to give it like an 8.5.
Oh, that's higher than I'm going to give it.
Well, it's just because those first...
8.5?
The first 3 seasons, dude, were so good. They're so good. They're still so good.
Damn.
I'm sticking with it because here's my reason I'm giving it 8.5. Besides the rush, let's put aside that the stupid part 1 and 2 that was rushed, because I think because of the stresses of the world with COVID, everything that was going on, there's just so much. Even, are we going to see it with Stranger Things? Probably. Is there you see other movies that have come out that have just kind of felt like shit, that have just felt rushed?
Or disconnected.
Yeah.
Like it's not like following what happened before exactly as it should.
And it's been so long since we've seen shows that it's like, where are we? And it just doesn't go in. Like even with Barry, there's some directions that were like, what the fuck? Where's this going? So I'm kind of blaming it on that. 8.5 because of the acting. The acting was always good.
Acting's always good,
The
right?
writing was good. The writing was always solid. The shots. I'm always a shot. Something that you'll see in superhero movies, like Morbius. Don't fucking watch that trash ass shit, Jobins. CGI has killed superhero movies and is killing all action movies. I'm really against CGI. I hate it. It's just lazy. There's just lazy shots. So when you got a show like Ozark that cares and pays attention to shots, that's art. I appreciate it. So 8.5.
Yeah, I was going to go with a 8.0 because, again, my biggest knock on it would have been the forced, like, the rush of, like, the writing and, like, the characters and their relationships and, like, their motivations seemed very rushed and not explained as well as in previous seasons,
Right.
which went with that strong writing of, like, okay, I understand why this character is doing this. This one was like, why are these partnerships happening? Why are these things happening? This person going. This doesn't make very much sense logically.
Yeah.
And I think the show had a good rational, logical point that it always went to, and it kind of failed on the last season, maybe production purposes. So I'm going to go an 8.0 on it. Wendy's my
still
favorite
respect.
character.
Why?
She's a
Tell the
freaking
Jobins why.
matriarch. She's ride or die, fight tooth and nail for her family. I want to ride or die, bitch. She's the baddest bitch ever on TV. You know Skylar from Breaking Bad? They took Skylar from Breaking Bad and they said, how do we make this character a cool badass? And they made Wendy Bird. And that's why Ozark is an 8. Because it would have got knocked off if it wasn't for the strong performances by the characters.
Oh, yeah. Ruth, dude. I forget her name in real life, but yeah, I love her.
Good performance from her as well,
Yeah.
too. Good performances all around, like you're saying.
Like if she wanted 2 husbands in real life, because I know she's married, I think, and getting ready to have a kid. But I would totally...
You get set up for the second husband, huh?
For her. I think I could change. I think I can get used to this open thing that Sean and Tim are talking about. I can contribute. I can cook. I can add to this tribe. As
Ooh,
Sean-
add to the tribe.
I could add to the tribe, as Shika Shane would say. But yeah. So Wendy was your favorite character?
Yeah.
I would have
And-
to say Jason Bateman was mine.
I wanted to add on because you got a good point. The freaking CGI with helicopter scenes.
I hate 'em.
Go watch U.S. Marshals from '98. They have a better helicopter scene than they have in Ozarks in 2022 because it's a real helicopter and there's real, it's like, where's the realness of some things?
Dude, watching old... I didn't really watch it with you that night because you were already kind of into it and I didn't get to really watch the first half. I'll watch it by myself. But it is a guilty pleasure going back and watching old action movies or just older movies in general. I'm actually finding myself enjoying those movies more than today's movies. And it's so fun. You love it too because I come home and you're just fucking into it.
There is a certain It's like it takes you back to a time.
Even when they're cheesy. Like, oh, this is so cheesy, but it's fun.
Yeah, they're like, he was ex-Special Forces, CIA, Black Ops.
What was it? U.S. Marshals?
Yeah, U.S. Marshals with Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes.
Tommy Lee Jones.
and,
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
I can't even do spoilers
No
on that.
spoilers.
Check it out. It's on Netflix, boys and girls.
And
Everybody,
Jobins.
everyone inclusive. Watch freaking U.S. Marshals from '98.
Yeah. Real quick, Anderson Silva won last night. And Floyd Mayweather. Did you know Floyd Mayweather won last night? You're shooting off Anderson Silva?
Who'd he win against?
I forget the guy's name.
Machado.
I forget
Look
the
up
guy's
Machado's
name.
record and
I
then
don't
tell
give
me
a-
that he's a legit boxer.
How dare you?
And it's an exhibition match where if you don't win, you go to a freaking, no winners. Yeah, I'm already done with this. Jake Paul knocks him out.
dare
Let's get
you.
the Jake Paul Anderson Silva fight.
That's what I was getting to. But Silva, he was boom, 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 boom to the body and then boom with a right.
Yeah.
47 years old, snapped his leg in half. The man snapped his leg in half. 47 years old, got me into the UFC. Greatest to ever do it. Was Muhammad Ali after Muhammad Ali in UFC. And without Silva, you wouldn't have a whole bunch of fucking fighters that here are today. So,
Bro.
how dare you, Brenden?
Just look at his
How
opponent.
dare you?
Look at his opponent he boxed.
I don't give up. The
It's
man's
not
47
impressive.
years old. He snapped his leg. The man has one leg. It's a steel leg on the other side, but he snapped it, dude. And he's still ripping people. He's still the spot, dude. What happens if he knocks out Jake Paul?
Never gonna happen.
What would you say?
I would say, hey, he got a real test finally.
Okay.
And Jake Paul got a real test finally. I'm not saying Jake Paul hasn't. He still needs to prove himself too. But I'm not impressed by the exhibition match.
Sean
by
and
any
Tim
means.
think Jake Paul's getting Conor. I just don't see that. I don't see Dana White letting that happen.
Connor's too small too.
I'm a jackass if I'm wrong here, but I just don't think it's Conor versus Jake.
I agree.
Yeah, and then you see Logan talking about Canelo, but who knows? That's a whole circus with all them guys, and you never know what they're fucking orchestrating. You know what I mean? Like, what are they gonna come up with?
Logan could definitely, after Canelo's last performance where he tried to go up a weight class and he lost that to try to get another belt, it's like, yeah, stick to those lower weight classes. You ain't no Manny Pacquiao. You ain't going up.
Maybe that's why Logan wants Jake to fight him.
If Logan were to fight Canelo, I think he'd go to the freaking exhibition, no winner at the end, and freaking Jake Paul's gonna be like, oh yeah, I freaking made it all the way. Canelo's gonna outpoint him, but he's not gonna win. Because he ain't going to finish him. He's not going to knock him out.
I was excited for you, Anderson Silva. You keep going, blood. I hope you get the Jake Paul fight. I hope it's fucking awesome.
Me too. That'd be lit.
Yeah. One more thing before we go. R.I.P. Papa Jim. I was sad about that. Watching that video, the tribute video to him, that made me, I was not going to lie, sitting next to you, I was fighting back tears.
You can cry in front of me, dude.
like-
It's sad.
I'm not crying. Because we've been fans of Danny Duncan's for a few years now. Mm-hmm. And you always knew, like, even when, because them guys when they're 90s, dude, it's just like, when's it coming? When's this fucking coming? So it was always just so cool seeing Danny do funny ass shit with Papa Jim. And then he was a character in himself with the back to my sandwich and then like the Coca-Cola shit. Mm-hmm. It was cool. And then I love that video when Danny got him that porn star just to hang out with them. That was funny as fuck.
He was such a free spirit at that age. There's this scene where he's straight up naked with Danny Duncan at the pool, and you're like, man, that grandpa don't give a fuck.
That was one thing that made me a fan of Danny Duncan, because myself, I've always, like, even at work right now, there's older gentlemen that I work with at Sprouts. I love talking to them. I've always been like that, because with older people, they've been on this planet so much longer than me, and they've been through so much more than me. That I just like to know through their, like, I always just have good talks about experiences and like and try to like gain some of their knowledge and wisdom to get passed down on.
100%.
You know what I mean? So I've always respected old people, and I've always really liked. So that's one thing that I was always like, man, I like Danny Duncan. This guy's wild, he's crazy, but I think we're the same way when it comes to old people.
He was cool. You know what was cool too? He was fun still. Because there's a lot of old people that, I'm not going to lie, I've encountered, and I was like, they were real grumpy assholes.
Yeah.
But this guy was like, he's going to get naked with Danny Duncan and do prank videos.
Yep.
He's going to be freaking drinking, doing whatever. That's just really cool.
We're having a sandwich and a fucking Coca-Cola for you, Papa Jim. All right, fucking Peter the goat. And it was cool when he was like, I didn't think I would ever, be worth anything to anyone. And it's like, and then Danny Duncan was like, no, yeah, you fucking. And it was just like, you did leave an impression.
He had two hot chicks, and then Danny Duncan ramps over with a
there was
dirt
a whole
bike.
bunch of them. There was a whole bunch. It was a line of hot women.
Craziness.
Yeah. But yeah, there we go. Episode 77, Jobins. We're back. Hopefully get back to you each week. Sorry we were out a week, but we back, baby.
100%.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for the love and support. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know in the comments what you think. Let's go.